Hello YouTube and welcome to another AI tutorial. So in this video we're gonna actually take a look at GGUF file names and we'll try to actually decode them. So are you ready? Let's get started. So first thing first, what is GGUF? So actually GGUF stands for GPT Generated Unified Format. So as you have seen on the previous video, we use it with llama.cpp and compatible tools to store quantized AI models. Okay, so when you download the model, the file name tells you exactly what you are getting. Okay, so you can think of it like a nutrition label, okay, but for AI. So in this example here we have, for example, Quant 3.5 model. So you can see the first part, which actually contains the model name and size, and we have different notation that we're gonna explain later. So for example, here you have UD, Q4, K, and XL on .ggf file. Okay, so let's see what all these notations mean. So first we're gonna talk about the model parameters or the B number. Okay, so before the quantization notation, you will see a number followed by B. So like for example 8B, 14B or 17B, sometimes more than that. So this actually stands for billion parameters. So parameters are the learnable number, or what we call the weights inside the model. So the more parameter generally means better understanding of complex topics, better reasoning and problem solving, but also, which is very important, larger file size. And when we say larger file size, it means more VRAM needed. Okay, but bigger is not always better. So a well quantized 8B model, for example, can outperform a poorly quantized 70B model on your hardware. Okay, so in this illustration you can see, for example, the model size versus the more memory requirement. So this is just approximative. So for example, here for the 7 billion model, we need 14 gigabytes of VRAM for the full precision model. Okay, but only 4 gigabytes for the quantized version. Okay, so when the model or the parameters are bigger, they need more RAM. So for example, here 70B model at full precision need 140 gigabytes of VRAM. So this is twice NVIDIA A100 GPU, but quantized to Q4 it fits in just 40 gigabytes of memory. Okay, so in each slide we're gonna actually do a quick check just for testing purposes. So for example, here, which model needs the most VRAM to run at full precision F16? So of course the bigger one, which is here 70B model. Okay, so correct, 70B model at F16 needs approximately 140 gigabytes of VRAM. So the parameter count directly scale memory requirement. Okay, so let's move on. So here we talk about quantization, which is very important in actually GGUF file name convention. So the Q stands for quantization. So the process of reducing the precision of model weights from 32-bit floats to smaller format like 4B, 8B, or sometimes even 2B or something like that. So why we do that? Simply because a 32-bit model might be 30 gigabytes. Okay, and 4-bit version just 5 gigabytes. So small enough to run on your laptop, for example. Okay. So here in this table you can see the weight precision comparison. Okay. So for example, for Q4 we have only here 5 gigabytes. For the Q8 we have 9, and for the full precision 16-bit we have almost here 16 gigabytes. And of course the F32 is much more bigger. So as you can see here, it's around 32 gigabytes. Okay. So let's move on. So now we're gonna talk about the numbers that come after this Q notation. So the number after the Q tells you how many bits per weight. So for example, here we have Q4, which stands for 4-bit per weight. So it's smaller and faster. 8 bits per weight also stands for Q8. And we have also Q2, which is 2-bit per weight. It's tiny but lower in quality. So lower bits means smaller file but potentially less accurate responses. Okay. And of course here you will see the different quantizations compared with the size of the file. Okay. So let's do another quick check. So which of these quantizations use more bits per weight? So of course the Q8, which use actually 8 bits. Okay. So Q8 uses 8 bits per weight. So the highest precision among these options, giving the best quality, but also you have to keep that in mind. It will have largest file size. Okay. And now we're gonna talk about the K-Quant. So the K stands for the K-Quant, which is actually the K means quantization. So K means is a very famous algorithm in the machine learning field. So it's group smaller weights together using clustering, then stores shared value for each group. So instead of storing every weight individually, you store central weights, so which are actually average values, and assign weights to the nearest one. Okay. So here in this illustration you can see the K means clustering visualization. Okay. So we have a cluster for weights, for example for A weights, we have cluster for B weights, and we have also cluster for C weights. So it's very important actually concept that we use also in order to name our GGUF file names. Now we're gonna talk about the size modifier. So sometimes in the file name you will see some letters like M, S, XL and XXS also. So these letters describe the size quality trade-offs within quantization level. Okay. So for M we have the medium, which is balanced size and quality. We have also S, which stands for small, so smaller, faster, but slightly lower quality. And we have XL, which is extra large, which has the best quality but also the largest size. Okay. So here in this illustration you can see the file size comparison. So for S, for example, we have only 4.2 gigabytes as file size, but for the extra large you have here almost 6.8 gigabytes. So let's do another quick check. So which file is the largest? Of course is the extra large one. Here we go. So XL is the biggest and highest quality variant. So S stands for small, M medium, and XL is the largest. So now we're gonna talk about the UD notation, which stands for unslot dynamic. So it's smart per layer quantization method from the Onslaught team. So the Onslaught team has developed this actually methods. So instead of applying the same bit width to every layer, it dynamically assigns different precision per layer based on sensitivity analysis. Okay, so sensitive layers, for example embeddings and early attentions, have a higher precision, so they are quantized using the Q6 or Q8, but the less sensitive layers, so for example the middle one, will actually receive just Q2 or Q3 quantization, so they are a heavy compression. Okay, so the result better quality than uniform Q4, for example, at the same file size. So Onslaught Dynamic uses a large calibration data set, which is around 300 kilo, or actually 1.5 million tokens, to make the decisions. Okay, so in this illustration you can see how the quantization is applied to the different layers. So as we have seen, for the sensitive layers there is a high precision, but for the middle one and also next to the lower one we have some heavier compression. Okay, so let's now talk about the QAT, which stands for Quantization Aware Training. So the model here was trained with quantization in mind from the start, not converted afterwards. Okay, so the standard flow, as you can see here in the illustration, is to train at full precision, then convert it, for example here, to 4 bits. But when we are using quantization aware training, we simulate quantization, we fine-tune it, then we get the final model. Okay, so QAT or QAT models usually have better quality at the same bit level because they learned to work with reduced precision. Okay, and this is the illustration that actually summarizes this process or this flow. So a little quick check, which typically has better quality at Q4 quantization. So of course the model with the quantization aware training, which is this one here. Okay, so let's move on. So now we're gonna talk about the MoE, which stands for Mixture of Experts. So Mixture of Experts actually is a model architecture where only subset of expert layers are active for each input. Okay, so instead of running all parameters, the model routes each token to most relevant actually experts, so usually 1 or 2. So this means, for example, in this example here we have 8 experts, but only 2 are active at the same time. Okay, so as you can see here in this illustration, so and the router do this work actually. So at each time only 2 experts are active. So if you have, for example, 56 billion model parameter, you will get only 12 billion active, okay, per token actually. So here we're gonna talk about I matrix. So I stand for I matrix, which is importance matrix. It's a data-driven approach that analyzes which weights matter most. So the I matrix is calculated by running sample data through the model and measuring which weights have the biggest impact on the output quality. So models with I in the name use the importance data to allocate bit more intelligently. Okay, so here you can see an illustration of that. So in summary, I matrix inside, so the high importance weights per get actually more bits during quantization. There is also another notation you will see, IQ, which stands for importance quantization. Okay, so it's combined the I matrix analysis with the smart quantization. So it allocates more bits to importance weights and fewer to less important ones. Okay, so you can think of it like JPEG compression for images. So more detail where it matters and less where you will not notice. So IQ quants often achieve better quality than standard K-Quants at the same file size. Okay, so here you can see, for example, for standard Q4 we have the same quantization, but if you are using, for example, here the IQ2, you can see some high importance and some low importance also. So we have the same file size, but important ways keep more precision. So let's do a quick check. So what does IQ2 XXS mean? So here it means a 2-bit model with actually extra small importance quantization. So this is the first response. So finally, as you can see here, you can now understand the GGUF model notation. Okay, so whenever you see a file name that you have downloaded from, for example, Hugging Face website, you can analyze each part and know which each part means. So that was just a brief video to show you how to decode the GGUF file notation. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and make a comment or a like. So as always, I hope it has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing. Bye bye.